Good afternoon. Today is the 1st of November and welcome to the second attempt at recording the channel update for November 2022. The first attempt was somewhat marred when the car I was driving, which will be appearing over here in a second, had a bit of a breakdown. Yes, as you can see, that's the Rover. And it let me down, viewers. The video that you might have seen already will give you more detail about that, but I was just on my way to my mother's house and I was just about to take her to an appointment. I got a quarter of a mile down the road and the car just died and wouldn't restart. So that's interesting, but fortunately my mother has a car that is working, and so we are in this one today and we shall continue with what else we were planning on doing. The main thing for this month, I think, and a lot of you will already have suspected this, will be the NEC Classic Car Show, which happens from, I think it's the 11th to 13th of November. I'll be staying in the area from the 10th to the 14th though, because that's just the way I tend to do things. And that is a huge thing. It was by far the most popular series of videos on my channel for the entire year, actually. And so I shall be doing much shambolic shuffling, like tons of it, maybe 16 to 18 parts of that show. I know a lot of you enjoy that. It will be a bit of a marathon, but then it always is, for me to cover the whole thing. I won't get everything right because I never do, but I will try my best to bring you the best possible thing in terms of shambolic shuffles, which aren't really edited particularly well. They're not the most knowledgeable, they're not the best filmed, but you seem to like them, and so that's what we'll do. It's a complete contrast to a channel like Twin Cam, where Mr. Westby very thoroughly kind of researches and prepares and all sorts of stuff when he does these things, and that's really, you know, what he prefers. My sort of way of doing things is just get the thing out so that you can see it. That's really it. And you know, you can't really take the time if you're doing that to do that level of video quality. It's not really possible. But with the equipment and, you know, the sort of limited editing skills that I have, that's just the way that it works. And you know, some people like some things, some people like others, and that's fine. There's a place on YouTube for everybody, really. That's the way I always see it. So we've got more no budget reviews coming up. We've got more sensible second-hand classics coming up. We've probably got other types of videos as well. I'm trying to arrange some more so that we have plenty of content. By far the most popular video in October was actually something that was recorded at the end of September, which was the MG4 very brief walk around and test drive at the SMMT test day. Now that's been by far the most popular video at the SMMT test day, and it's also, which is it's really unusual for my channel, it's more than doubled the amount of money that it would actually cost me to get there and back. So as far as the costs are concerned for that day, I filmed 7 cars on that day. That was just one. We have covered the cost annually without even the wonderful channel members and their very kind donations, and other people who give a little bit towards the channel as well. Obviously that covers, you know, big things like the NEC, which is a very, very sort of important event, but of course there's costs for that. There's obviously accommodation. This will go for everyone. I mean, Ian Seabrook, Mr. Richardson, anyone else is going to be there. I think Steph, my driver Classic, is actually not going to be in the stand this time because she works for Lancaster Insurance. So I think she'll be in the Lancaster Insurance stand. But certainly for most of us to be there, there are costs associated. We've got to get there as well. Yeah, accommodation, food, the cost of the entry in my case as well. Because you know, being on a stand doesn't particularly work for me, because I can't film, you know, like 6-7 videos a day. And be on a stand and talk to people at the same time. I just can't. I can't do all that. Some people probably could, but I personally can't. I just don't have that sort of manic level of energy to be able to do all those things, and that's fine. That's not what you subscribe to do. You like to see shambolic shuffles, and shambolic shuffles you shall have. So yeah, so the very unexpected little shambolic shuffle was actually done in Romsey, or near Romsey, at the Bracefield Car Show, which was far bigger than anyone expected, and you know, I think a lot of you enjoyed it, little show. There might be some more of those actually coming up later in the year, even though it's now November and the nights are drawing in and things. So yeah, I hope that you enjoy what's going to be up on my channel, you know, NEC coverage and everything else besides. I'm very grateful to everybody who watches, particularly those who watch all the way through. Everyone who's subscribed, it's a huge deal to gain subscribers. It seems, you know, more difficult than ever for some reason for many of us to have that, but I'm very grateful to all of you who have. I'm very grateful to those who watched videos all the way through, who leave a like. That all helps very much. Those of you who do wish to become channel members, and please don't feel that under any way that's something that I wish you to do. If you don't want to, then that's also wonderful, and it's amazing how much of the overall channel revenue that I get per month is made up of contributions from channel members, and really, you know, people who benefit from early access to videos. If you're on the top 2 tiers, then you get to see the very vlogs like 3 weeks in advance of everybody else. Not that they're, you know, the most exciting things in some way, but some people really like them, and that's what they're there for. We also might be able to go and visit Baron's Classic Auctioneers again later this month. If that's something that you want to see, I can get in contact with them and see if I can go and film their next sale, which will be at the end of November. That might be something that some of you like. I certainly enjoyed myself going down there with the infamous Mr. Lilly, my former housemate, not his real name. We had a good time, and yes, as I might have hinted in the video when the Rover broke down, we did actually acquire something, which those of you who are channel members on the top 2 tiers will already know what it is. You already know what we actually bought. I'm actually picking that up tomorrow, and I will be filming a review probably pretty much immediately after we pick it up, because a friend of mine has no car at the moment, and despite the fact that the Rover is broken down and it needs fixing, I don't actually need to use that car at the moment. I'm very blessed and very fortunate to be in a position where I've got this Mercedes, and it will do for what I need it. So he'll be using the Volvo for the first maybe week or so that I have it, and then after that I might take that up to the NEC, although Mr. Hunter from Jeff Buys Cars and I have been trying, or rather he's been trying on my behalf, to get a stand for that show where I could just leave the car. I said to him, I won't be there very much. He said, that's okay, you just leave the car there, and you know, that's fine. Although he's very kindly said that would be a possibility. The organisers haven't got back to him or something, so we can't have one. But there will perhaps be an event later this year where you will be able to come and see the car that I bought for yourselves, and I'll let you know if we're able to organise that later on. A bit cryptic, I know, but that's all I know at the moment. Yes, it is exciting to have actually added something to the fleet for the first time in 2.5 years. I have not bought a car for myself. I've sourced tons of them, but I haven't bought one for myself in 2.5 years. I get to drive all kinds of great stuff, and so that scratches the itch to a certain extent, but you know, I've always kind of wanted to add an additional one, and now we have. You might not see what it is for a little while. Anyway, thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching, and all the contributions that all of you make to the channel. It's all very much appreciated. And don't forget to like this video, leave a comment below. If you haven't subscribed already, then please do. It really helps out. Thank you ever so much indeed once again. Lloyd Consulting stickers, t-shirts and mugs, are available by clicking the link to the Google form in the video description below.